What's up, everybody? How we doing? Another Tuesday night hangout. Eagles training camp in the works. Lots of news, info, everything else. It's good to see everybody in the chat. Got almost, 50 people hanging out, waiting. What's up? Appreciate you guys here. Give as many shout-outs as I possibly can, as always. Got some crazy giveaways, too, that we're doing during the stream. So I saw some questions, some comments of will there be giveaways? There absolutely will be giveaways. There's lots of those on this this particular live stream. So we got the Eagles helmet, the Super Bowl helmet, the signed Philly Dogs one, which we'll spin for. Give somebody the chance to claim the helmet. Also, we've got the Eagles open practice tickets and the Eagles tickets to any regular season game of your choice for the military members. So that was the video from 2 videos ago. But yes, all of those during the stream. Good luck to everyone. Some of the Eagles open practice tickets are for people on the live stream. So, regardless, if you're hanging out here tonight, you got a chance to win. If you've commented on any of the other videos, then you got an opportunity there. And we'll see who claims it. Best of luck to everybody. Shout out Ryan, Saquon Fanatic, David, Cholo Boy, what's up? Shave Sway, James, Cheesesteak, how's it going? Michael Hayes, Philly Dude, Alex, Will Escalante, Frank. Yeah, unfortunately, I know it's always rigged. Andrew, what's up, man? Says Josh, shout out my guy, please. I got you. Or we're going backwards on this thing. John Kemsky, Cosmo, Alpha, KRH, Gary Washington, Joel G, D's Joe Birds, Jorge, what's up? Bill Watkins, Hunter Gonzo, JC Kirk, Maddie, chime in, Frankie Ray, Sergeant Slippy, J.A., Fanny, what's up? How's it going? John M., Dr. Jen. Hopefully I didn't miss too many. Adam, got a 1-hour drive. Stay safe. Hands on the wheel. Hopefully you get there soon. Get there safely, though. That's the most important thing. Christian as well. Gotcha. What's up? All right, we can get into this news and everything else, too. Like I say, there's lots of stuff. Appreciate you guys giving back as much as we can. You know how it works on this channel, but as much as we possibly can. JC, dude, appreciate it. Starting out with the 5 bomb. Says, go Birds. Go Birds. Appreciate that. Have to move this thing around, make sure that it works. Yes, but as far as the news, like I mentioned. So to start things off, the Eagles made a signing and released somebody. So, let's see if I make sure I get this work. There we go. Okay. We got the Eagles signing wide receiver Ife Adeyi and waiving Danny Gray. Little bit surprising to some, I know. Unfortunately, Danny Gray had a really good, impressive standout OTAs and then was having a good camp. Ended up running into or colliding with Andrew Mukuba, who's dealing with a shoulder injury. I think most everyone's on top of that, but collided with him, injured his finger. I don't know to what extent, but obviously bad enough to be waived/injured Danny Gray. Now, the thought is that he'll get potentially, he maybe could work his way back onto the Eagles practice squad at some point, but in terms of the 90-man roster, it's not in a scenario like currently. I mean, maybe later on in the season. Full Send Daily, what's up? Welcome to Let's Run It membership tier. Congratulations for you. But yeah, it was a little surprising because Danny Gray he was making plays, right? We did the whole video, the breakdown back from OTAs. This dude was one of the main guys getting called out in a positive way, but called out by the offensive guys. Like, man, he's making plays there. He's doing stuff for us. Could potentially be the guy, or at least one of them, like a wide receiver 4 option, the fourth guy. Even he said, which, you like a little confidence in all your wide receivers. But Danny Gray was going, man, if I was here during last offseason and I had a full training camp, I would absolutely have gotten the job. I would have made the roster. I would have had some plays, opportunities. Unfortunately, it's kind of a similar instance of what happened in San Francisco. Not entirely, but, he went there, hype, out of SMU, a talent that you see. You're like, man, can it convert? Did not really do much. He played well in the preseason whenever he went to the Niners initially, but then couldn't do anything in the regular season. He injured himself. Really was never the same player, bounced around. Eagles had him last year on the practice squad, but there was hope. And unfortunately for right now, and most likely the way that it looks is that, Danny Gray's gone. Maybe practice squad, don't see anything there. Ife Adeyi, if you're not familiar, that it maybe sounds familiar because it is, but if you're not, then he's a guy who is being re-signed by the Eagles and having been at undrafted free agent, but ran a 4.35, I believe, unofficially, so a speedster, a little bit smaller, could maybe bring something to, the practice squad, give you some unique looks and everything like that, but I don't think that he has as much of the ceiling that Danny Gray potentially had, and he was giving the guys some good looks. I mean, again, you remember that Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, they shouted out Danny Gray of saying, like, dude, that guy was great for us on the scout team. He was lining up as if he was the best team receiver. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was mimicking Jamar Chase, or they would, act as if he was Jamar Chase to get prepared for the Bengals game last season. So, you can find somebody. I'm not saying it's a horribly negative in the sense of like it really impacts the Eagles. It was just, there was some potential. Wish Danny Gray the best. Prayers for the rehab. Hopefully it's nothing major with the finger injury that he suffered. But, it's just one of those that kind of sucks. You're hoping for him, pulling for him. John, I don't know, actually. As far as Ife Adeyi, can he catch, speed isn't everything? Totally fair. Again, I think that he's just another camp body, unfortunately. We'll see. Maybe he has an opportunity. If anything, at this point, the way that it's looking, Elijah Cooks is probably trending towards, and a lot of beat writers have mentioned him, but trending towards the possibility of making the roster and kind of that camp darling that, everybody talks about. There's usually one each year that you're like, oh man, didn't really see him being the guy to, make the roster, but kind of sneak in there last second. Possibly so, because also Maxwell, and I see you mentioning this, others may have brought this up also, but any updates on the Terrace Marshall injury? Nothing so far, but Terrace Marshall did suffer a lower leg injury today. So, you had Danny Gray, that was one of them, and then Terrace Marshall was the other one, who A.J. Brown said he's going to make the room uncomfortable for the wide receivers. Devontae Smith knows him from way back when, very familiar with Terrace Marshall, giving him a lot of praise, but he suffered a lower leg injury. Hopefully it's nothing serious. We probably won't know anything until Thursday. The Eagles are off tomorrow or have a walkthrough, so there's no official media updates. But, yeah, it's just interesting. It'd be interesting to see how they play this one. And hopefully, like I say, Terrace Marshall is not a major injury. But for the guys that are trying to make roster spots, sometimes it just comes down to, a little bit, call it luck, call it durability, whatever you want to. But if you suffer an injury like this, you kind of need those reps. It goes both sides of the ball, but it's why Vic Fangio said earlier today, nothing replaces those physical reps they get. Andrew Mukuba being out, it impacts him. I'm not overly concerned, but it's still the similar instance of you can get mental reps, but there's no substitute for actually getting out there and being on the field. And, we'll see. Hopefully Terrace Marshall, as I say, is going to be okay, can get back out fairly quickly. If he doesn't, maybe it's Elijah Cooks. There's a possibility. I think I saw somebody asking what the deal was with Anaya Smith and Johnny Wilson. Fly Parks, Cooks makes the roster, Johnny Wilson practice squad. Maybe so. Johnny Wilson had another bad drop today. We'll see. He's been very hit or miss. Anaya Smith is getting some reps with the first team also. He's been, from what I've read, and this is just obviously trying to compile everything together, all the media reports, beat writers, everything else. But from what I've read, Anaya Smith is performing better than Johnny Wilson, but they're both getting looks at first team. Now, it's nothing like Anaya Smith is, shocking people and, going crazy, but he's still having a better camp so far, and he's at least making some plays. I think he shook Cooper DeJean on one instance. So, there's a little something there. But just updating, like I say, in terms of where things are at, some signings, some guys get released. I will get to a couple of the other super chats as well. Fanny, though, with his 5 Philly Special Show memberships. Appreciate that, Fanny. As always, that means a ton. Will got one. Shaquille, Maxwell, Jeej. Jeej? I think so. G Jr. Oh, Gene Jr. And K King. Congratulations. You all got one. Remember, once we get into September, we got the member giveaways for tickets. So I'm doing the ticket giveaway for military members. Shout out to you guys. You're the real heroes, which is why we did that. So we'll spin for that here in, I don't know, maybe 30-ish minutes, somewhere around there. But as far as the other members, we do that during the regular season. So starting September, it'll be ticket giveaways for just members of the channel because you guys are the real ones. So opportunity there. John M., member for 14 months, been saying that for a while now. Wilson does not have great hands, unfortunately. No, whenever your rookie card or one of them is you in the Super Bowl dropping a pass, that kind of tells you all you need to know. Qualified 86 with a 5-bomb. Appreciate that, man. Said, I'm here, baby. Let's go. Just got off work. Ready for the latest. Heck yeah. A little bit late. Well, I don't know where you're located, actually. It's a little bit late getting off work. Appreciate you being here nonetheless. You guys keep it fun. Full Send Daily with a 5. Appreciate you always being on top of things, of all things Philly. Go Birds. Can't wait for August 10th. Yes, sir. We try to as much as possible. Any major news, we hop on for, the immediate live streams and then have the regular Tuesday nights, which I've also mentioned this as well. Once the season starts, we should be getting back to the regular Friday night hangouts. So it's going to be kind of pending schedule. Also working with Anthony there. But we're going to try to do as much as we can. And as I mentioned, too, we gave away tickets last season and going to try to duplicate or even double the effort. Shout out to SeatGeek, by the way, the sponsor, one of the many sponsors, but helping out with the ticket giveaways this season. So you'll probably see a few of those in upcoming videos and everything else throughout the season. Kenneth Hurt, welcome to Let's Run It tier. There you go. There's another membership. Congratulations. Good to have you. Frankie Ray with a 5. Yeah, we can get into some of the other injury news and reports. Let me see if I can pull up the specific details just for people that may not be 100% aware of all the exact injuries. I've got a full recap that I'll go over. B-Dubs, also, by the way, Let's Run It membership. Got you down. But let's see. For as far as the injuries today, full recap will be tomorrow, which I'll have. Here we go. I think that works. And I will answer the question as far as Nolan. The long and short of it is I don't know exactly how serious, but Eagles injury report. The guys out today were Zach Bond with a back contusion. Danny Gray, as the finger mentioned, ended up getting released. Andrew Mukuba, shoulder. Devontae Smith, back tightness. Nolan Smith, surprising there, concussion. So that was what Frankie's referencing or mentioning there. The concussion injury, those are always surprising because, I feel like it's a little bit more noticeable whenever the media is there. They're watching a guy, hobbles off or goes into the tent or whatnot, and they're like, oh, something happened. Whereas the concussion, sometimes you see him hobble off, but other times it's almost like it happens. They don't fully recognize it until they start experiencing symptoms. So I don't know when that happened. There was nothing reported, nothing that I saw the previous day on Monday for the practice. So I'm guessing that it just happened there at some point and no one really recognized it from the media, and then the Eagles just held him out. We'll see. Nobody really asked about it or followed up. I haven't seen anything else from the extreme, but concussions are never a good thing in any sense. So I hopefully it's just, hey, take precaution. There's no sense in pushing it. If it ends up being major, then I'll be crying like my daughter in the background that you can hear. But yeah, like Maxwell says, hopefully nothing too serious. James, welcome to Let's Run It. Got several members tonight. Appreciate you guys. But here's the thing: I will say I think that it's a good thing in the short term because Nolan is, even though Nolan's out for a bit, you're at least getting some reps from other guys to get opportunities on the edge, and we probably need that. Which Josh Uche made some plays, 1 or 2, quote unquote sacks. They don't fully hit the quarterback, but what would be expected is sacks. So good for him. Strip sack, I believe, on Jalen on one. So always love to see that. Let's see, other questions, other comments. I'll try to go through as much as possible here. Let's see, Benji. Well, yeah, we went through kind of all the others. Owen and Button, Ty will be a bust. And Matt's asking, thoughts on Ty Robinson. I think we're fine. I think it's gonna be okay. I'll mention it more specifically in the video, the recap that I'll talk about in the video tomorrow. But I'll say it here too. Like, you got to pump the brakes with everything. It can't be over the top extreme. And I understand that, of like, especially Jihaad Campbell, because you see Jihaad Campbell out there, and it's hard not to get overhyped about it. But I really think that he's going to be the starter for week 1. He's progressing in that direction. Now, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is going to make it as hard as he possibly can, so good for him, because he's been having a good camp so far. But I think it'll probably be Bond and Campbell. If it's not, then, hey, you just kind of slowly get him into the mix. But he's so versatile, and the talent that he has is insane. But for Ty Robinson, like, it's much like a lot of these other scenarios here too. He's a rookie. He's going to have some good days. He's going to have some bad days. Like, he's learning. He's growing. He's not a Jalen Carter. Like, even Jalen Carter as a rookie had some good days and bad days. Not to the extent of, like a Ty Robinson. But you're asking him to come in and probably, at least I think at most of our expectations, is like during the season, you ask him to come in and, 10 snaps a game at most, probably? Because Moro Jomo is playing like a stud. I mean, he's a beast so far in training camp, but I think we expect that during the regular season. JD's in the best shape of his life. You're going to get a good bit of snaps from him. Jalen Carter, obviously. Thomas Booker's been playing really well, according to a lot of reports. Gabe Hall, maybe. My Baylor guy. Does he have enough? He's been the next man up. So perhaps he sneaks in there. And then Ty Robinson. But yeah, as far as calling anybody a bust, I mean, my gosh, we just let's pump the brakes a little bit. We're what? We're 2 days into padded practice, and really only 1 full day into fully padded practice. It's let's just hold up on that one. Let's see. Where was the other comment? Michael, give him a year, he'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, he could be a year, could be just a couple weeks, could be, middle of the season. I mean, Cooper DeJean, like, we were all hyped for him, but he was injured, and he didn't go in until week 6? It was after the bye week. We saw him a little bit, but like, it wasn't until after the bye week that we're going, okay, hey, he's gonna start, like, he's gonna be the guy. So it takes a little time. Be a little patient with the rookies. Yeah, Cynthia says Ty is going to be all right. He played Big Ten ball, not SEC. There's a difference. Let the kid get adjusted. He's in a great room with a great coach. That he is. Good reminder, actually, from Kramer. I forgot about this, but let's... So I think I did this on a live stream much earlier during the offseason, or maybe like a month or two ago. But long story short, we're looking at doing a golf outing in tandem, potentially with the Eagles Autism Foundation, where the proceeds would benefit them. But I'm curious of like who would legit be interested in playing golf. So again, I think I've kind of polled the audience once before, but just to do another pulse check on how you guys feel. So if we were to do a golf outing, would you attend? If it was going to be like in the Philly area, maybe Jersey, around that vicinity, just answer on the poll, yes or no. And legit. Yes, Burnell. In the Philly area. And also it'd end up being like a golf scramble. So just to give you a little bit more very brief preliminary detail. So I'm going to put this out here too. Golf outing in the Philly area, roughly $150 a person for the scramble, which would include a meal, which would include giveaway potential prizes and stuff that we might have. And it's, you could bring a team of 4 if you wanted, but Michael, unfortunately not at Augusta. No. But yeah, would you attend? So yes or no? I'm just going to throw that out there for the group. So feel free. I'd appreciate if you don't spam it. Like legit, if you could make it, answer yes. If you can't, you could say no or just don't respond. That's fine. I'm just curious to see how many people we can get in total for the yeses to see if it actually would happen. Ben, I would if I could golf or had any golf equipment or had time. That's fair. Like I say, it's not for everybody. Outdoor Creations with a 2. Appreciate that. Has UDFA Darius Cooper been making any plays? Not a whole lot. There's been a few catches that I've seen. He fumbled today and got chewed out by Aaron Moorhead. Tristan McCollum, by the way, is the one who punched that out. So, for people saying like, hey, Tristan McCollum, he may not be doing anything. He got some first-team reps, and he forced a fumble. Not on that one because Cooper was not getting first-team reps, but he did force a fumble. Not the best sign if you're trying to make the roster and you're turning the football over. There was also, who was on the side? I think it was A.J. Dillon that got the ball punched out by Reed Blankenship. The ball ended up going out of bounds, and it was hard to say if he was like legit out of bounds or not. Conflicting reports depending on which beat writers was sharing that, but he did lose the ball. Fanny, who was it that Clint Hurt chewed out? Are you talking about yesterday? Because if it was yesterday, Clint Hurt was chewing out Ty Robinson. Ty did not hustle on a play where there was a loose ball, and yeah, he let him hear it. There you go. Cheesesteak knows. Said I think it was Ty Rob. That's the one that I'm assuming you're talking about. Or he says I've golfed once before I'm in. I love it. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time regardless. Nobody's going out there and shooting a course record. At least I don't think we are. So should be a good time. Let's see. Shaquille says, damn Ty pulled a Cam Newton. I don't know. I don't know what the exact situation is because we didn't get the full details. But unfortunately, he maybe he delayed. I don't know if he knew what the drill. I don't know if it was a drill. I didn't get that. The only part that I saw was somebody saying, yeah, Ty Robinson had a little bit of a rough day and he got chewed out for that. So. We'll see. Christopher with the 5, appreciate that, says, can't help but feel like the rest of the NFL didn't do enough to catch up to the Eagles. We might be set up for another great season. Go Birds. Bro, I mean, we have to be set up for another great season. I mean, we are, but I think it's still it always comes back to the injuries. It's that same conversation that we've had. If the Eagles can stay healthy, then I don't know of another roster or team that you say, and there's certainly no team that you go is like a heads and shoulders or even slightly above the Eagles. It's if they stay healthy. Maybe that's a big question mark, but yeah, I mean, I'm with you. There's no team that you go around and say, oh man, they loaded up. Like they're doing really good. Now the Eagles have experienced some injuries as we've seen to start camp. Andrew Mukuba, not a great sign. You got your rookie safety not getting those reps in like we mentioned, but Nolan Smith. It's a good thing for Uche. I don't know who was mentioning Agent Zero a while ago, but the new Agent Zero, because Uche is wearing number 0. Remember that. He can't be much worse than Bryce Huff, but he's been starting to show some signs. Also got back in coverage. Remember that Fangio really appreciates his edges, being able to not only rush the passer, but drop back into coverage. So he did that. Owen and Button, has Montrell Johnson been doing good? Yeah. Okay, so there's another one. Running back wise, I don't know that he's going to make the roster, but he is one of those to keep your eye on. Based on reports, Montrell Johnson, he's shown some burst. He's done really well in blocking, which is actually good because, as we know, you get a lot of running backs who cannot block. So far today, the takeaways that we had from the drills were basically it's like a one-on-one. You have the linebacker try to get past the running back to, get a quote-unquote sack. So just the drills that they run. Montrell Johnson was the only one who held serve against the guys that were rushing. I can't remember off the top of my head which guys were the ones that he faced against, or at least all of them. I think that I want to say it was Smile Munden and Lance Dixon and maybe one other. So I can't remember. But all the other running backs struggled mightily. In fact, Ben Van Sumeren, I think, was the only one who won one rep. He got beat by Jeremiah Trotter Jr., and then actually on the second one, he threw Trot to the ground. So he won one, he lost one. I think some people actually said that they were thinking that it might have been a fight. Turned out to not be, but BVS got some athleticism, got some dog in him. Plus, he'd been previously on the defensive side of the ball, and his offense might not sit well with the guys. I don't know. I think it's all in good competition. Iron sharpens iron, getting the work in. But yes, Montrell Johnson, I think, keep an eye injury-wise. Maybe there's something there. If he's able to sneak into a spot, he'll get some carries. He'll get a decent amount of opportunity, I think, in the preseason. So, I don't know. I think it's a very clear-cut, though, based on what we've seen and heard on the reports of, obviously Saquon is just like a given, but you talk about running back or RB2. I think some people are kind of overselling the idea of A.J. Dillon. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a role on this team, but it's like they're overselling A.J. Dillon and or underselling the Will Shipley idea, because Shipley's gotten the vast majority of the second-team reps, and he's made more of an impact in the passing game. So today he caught a touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts. I think it was on a Texas route, if I'm not mistaken. But he's getting a lot more focus than A.J. Dillon is. Now, it's early, so sure, you could say, well, maybe A.J. is trying to figure out the playbook more and get comfortable, and eventually he finds a role. I'm not saying that he couldn't, but I think he's kind of getting overlooked in terms of, just the hype, I guess, for A.J. Dillon. Not that he couldn't do anything. Ben, when is the open practice? Open practice is August 10th. So I'll be spinning for tickets to that tonight as well. So for anybody who is either in Philly or will be or plans to be in the Philly area on August 10th, you want to go see the guys, then good luck tonight, because I'll be spinning for that. Andrew, what's up? Appreciate the two. When are we signing Noah Fant? I don't know that we are, actually. It's a good question, but I don't know that we are. So from what I've seen so far, Noah Fant has had 3 workouts. I believe it was with the Saints and the Dolphins, with a decent amount of interest from the Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't believe that there's going to be a Noah Fant signing. I know some people were again talking about hype and speculation and everything else, but I know some people were like, "Oh my gosh, here's the big signing. Here's the one that's about to happen." He has not, from what I've heard, from what we've gotten news reports and everything else. I don't think that he's come in for any sort of visit. He's done that with some other teams. Not to say that Philly couldn't sign him based off of just their own research and scouting or whatnot, or bring him in. But yeah, I don't think that that's one that's legit going to happen. You got Goddard. Grant Calcaterra's been doing well based on reports in camp. And then who knows, between at the moment, like Kylan Granson and Harrison Bryant, Nick Muse is another one who's made a couple plays. So as Yah says, Noah Fant is not better than the other tight end threes that the Eagles already have in camp. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind a little extra competition, but overall, I've I didn't even talk about it whenever it was a rumor. Like a week and a half ago, just because I didn't feel like it was. And that's the same thing for Christian Wilkins. Like people want to bring him up and say, "Oh man, hey, there's a situation here. Could the Eagles swoop in and get him as defensive tackles?" Like, we will bring up some topics here or there. We will bring up some speculation, but that was more so for like before camp when there's not really enough news. Now it's like, look, there's enough news going on. You don't need to be creating extra news out of thin air and trying to make something more than what it is. So if we got a report that, Eagles are interested or Eagles are bringing in for a visit, like I said, then fine, we'll talk about it. But otherwise, there's just an overwhelming amount of information that, like I say, the last thing I think we need to do is be like, well, let's speculate on a potential that nobody's legit linked him to, that nobody has any sort of actual interest in, of like, oh, hey, there's a specific team in the Eagles being interested. But, people always got to talk about something. Let's see. Yeah, Dr. Jen says don't need him. Andrew, I hear Grant C is garbage, always hurt and refuses to block. I don't think it's that he refuses to block. I think that he struggles to block. But yes, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know that Fant is necessarily a good blocker either. Like, I don't, as far as just adding it's not like you're signing to me anyway, personal opinion, but to me anyway, you're not signing, if you were to try to go down there, it's not like going to move the needle much. It's just like, hey, well, we bring in another guy and yeah, we have some more competition. But the way that Howie's been moving the roster and trying to add guys, if anything, I'm thinking it's like a wide receiver because of the injuries. So, Kramer, no worries, putting the kids to bed. I'll get that poll up there for you. Yeah, people letting you know if you win it, we will. I've got your contact info, so yeah, if you win anything, we'll let you know. Juju, what's up, man? Did I miss the trade talk already? No, we're kind of in that phase of, any potential moves or whatnot. But I mean, the legit one is, like we said, we were talking about Ife Adeyi and the Eagles signing him, but that was because of Danny Gray and the injury. And then the other part that we mentioned here is Terrace Marshall, so we'll know that on Thursday. Depending on how severe it is, that's the point of, okay, do you make a move there? And also for the safety position, which everybody keeps talking about, Justin Simmons. I do think that there's another move coming from Howie, but the question is, like, what are the other aspects? I don't think that it's going to be a major move on, like if anybody's trying to, throw out bigger name guys, anything like that. So sure, in the sense of that, or at least on that side of it, Noah Fant is probably roughly a caliber of a move, maybe a little bit more. If it's a Justin Simmons, yeah, okay, maybe you make the argument in the case, but they could do that at any point. We haven't seen it yet. I still think that they're holding out hope and thinking, okay, maybe Sidney Brown, if he could do something. As I mentioned, Tristan McCollum had a good day of camp, create the forced fumble, also broke up a pass, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, it's we'll see. JC, I think somebody was asking about Sidney Brown. Oh, Nate, there you go. What's up, Nate? Says, I was high on Sidney Brown, and has he been standing out? Anything there? So JC kind of answered it as well, but had some flashes, not anything consistent. He's been better, though. Jorge, I know Sidney Brown's inconsistent missile. That is true. Been better over the last couple days. He's going to get a lot more reps because of Andrew Mukuba being out. But broke up a pass yesterday. He had an opportunity for an interception on Tanner McKee, and he missed it. He still got the pass breakup, but he apparently jumped a route, had an opportunity. If it had been a game, he might have taken it back for 6, but was not able to hold on. So he's made some plays here or there, but I think we're all of the same mindset and all the same boat. It's like, look, even in camp, regardless of how good he does, because they don't like fully go in and do the tackling, it's going to be can he make those tackles? Does he not over pursue? Because there's so many times that we see that he's got the athleticism. He's got the ability to be there to make the play. The question is, will he make the play? And we're waiting to see it. But he could turn things around. We've seen it from a lot of other guys. Brian, I love golf. We must do it. There you go. Chris also, what's up, man, says, is the golf outing a scramble? I'm good at drink and talking smack. I'm just not good at golf. Well, yes, it would be a scramble. I didn't clarify that in the poll, but it would absolutely be a scramble. Be a 4-man scramble. Every team's got to have the good smack talker and good vibes, good energy guy. So, yeah, we're not, like I said, we're not, like I said earlier, we're not looking to shoot any course records here. We're not the break 50, break 60 group. I mean, honestly, even for a scramble, like I'm sure there'll be some group that comes in. They're like, yeah, we shot 20 under, because there always is. But realistically, it's just for fun. And like I said too, it'd be giving back. All the proceeds going to the Eagles Autism Foundation. So, cool cause, great excuse to have a good time and give back. Gary, you could putt all day. See, people need that too. Got to have a putter. I usually can't putt to save my life. So, get something. Jamar, what about a caddy? I mean, you probably could do that, but you still, depending on the team size, you got to have 150. Let's see, where was the other? The truth, we should sign Justin Simmons and or Kaiser White, Amari Cooper, and Asante Samuel Jr. Is that you're saying and or? So like all of those? The 4 signings? I think if anything, it's going to be like 1. Ryan, when I say golf, do I mean hockey? Yeah, I just must have messed that up. See, JC's got it. A little bit of Happy Gilmore there. That's what it is. Appreciate 5 more, man. Says players reconditioning, or question, and players reconditioning in this heat. Injuries are bound to happen. Luckily, it seems like they have been minor. That's true. I mean, so far, without the exception of Danny Gray and the finger injury that he suffered, which I'm assuming was bad enough which is why they released him and waived him with the injury designation. But yeah, I mean, so far nothing too bad. Holding out for a couple practices. Jalen Carter was back, limited, but he did get in some reps. James, has Asante Samuel Jr. been cleared? Nothing official, I don't believe. But it's sometime around here, so I know that they were saying that it'd be like towards the end of July that most likely people were thinking there's a possibility for him. If the Eagles are interested, they do their homework. I think also for the cornerback position, much like the safety, Vic is just trying to see what he has at the moment for Adoree Jackson and Kelee Ringo and others. Some have thrown out the idea of an Eli Ricks. Can he sneak in there and get a starting spot, because he's played pretty good, regardless of what you think about Eli Ricks, and if he's played pretty good, he's gotten some good reps in. I know he had one against John Dotson. I believe it was another one. I know it was against Johnny Wilson also, and I can't remember who the third one was. But he had some good reps in 11-on-11s, also in 1-on-1s. Those don't typically mean as much, but, still to do it for 11-on-11. Chris on the board of a charity called AI Tech. ATech. Oh, let's go. A charity event every year? Yeah, that'd be super helpful. Yeah. Okay. We got, a decent amount of time. So, feel free. If you want to email me, or I know we're on the regular monthly Zoom call, but thephillyspecialshow@gmail.com. So, yeah. email me, or like I say, we could connect just at the next monthly call. But I would be curious, because that's the other part too, of just like vendors and the other side of setting up the tournament, which I really have a very little knowledge on, but that's what we're trying to work for. So yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be super helpful. Christine, yes, you're right. Vic did say Sydney's looking a lot better this year. He's got an opportunity because he's actually getting to go through camp. It's been a while. First time to go through Vic's camp too, which makes a big difference. See, there we go. See, John saying Ricks isn't terrible. He's not terrible. It's why every time I've put him on my 53-man roster projection, even there's a lot of people that do not. But most people do. I think that the vast majority that I'd seen had not had him making the roster, but there's something about it. You could see that Howie likes Eli Ricks. He's made just enough plays, and he's keeping him interested. So might stick around. Oh, and what are you talking about? I think you're trolling. Because I know that's not true. With a 5 from Alex, appreciate that. The answer at cornerback isn't a free agent for the people that don't like Ringo. Howie will have to make a trade for one. Maybe so. Who would you trade for? What move would you make? I've got a guy in mind. I'm just curious if we talked about him on, again, back when there was not as much news, really not much going on during the offseason, so it's more of the speculation. But I've got a guy who I would absolutely look for. I'm curious if you would say the same thing, or who you got, Alex, because you're throwing that out there as not a free agent, and I'm fine with that thought. And you go get somebody who's a trade, because Howie's done that in the past of making trades. But who would you go for? Clay, we should have kept Slay and CJ. Yeah, I don't know. CJ, I think they just felt strong enough about Ringo, and you got to move him on if you're going to get Ringo those reps. So I think that's where they're sticking with. If I had to guess right now, I'm still going Ringo as the starter. As far as CJ, we've talked it to death at this point. It clearly was not just based on ability. It was other things of common denominators for the character and the vibes of the locker room and everything. But yeah, they had to move on. Owen saying Denzel Ward. Okay. I don't know if we're going to go to that extent of trading, but Trenton, everyone's overreacting. The corners and safeties will play fine by the time the season starts. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Because, it's the same deal with last year. Or it could be. Because last year, at this point in time, we're going, Bond appears to be the guy. Fangio has been saying it. So some people were in denial. They're like, no, there's no way he's going to be that. It's like, all right, well, just wait. But Bond was being one of those guys, and the other one was Devin White. And the other cornerback spot was Isaiah Rodgers. Like, it wasn't even Q. He was getting reps at the slot. But, be honest, if you try to think back, it's hard, the recency bias and this team being a Super Bowl squad, but was there as much belief? Or they certainly played a lot better, I think, than most people. Was there as much belief? Because I know they're just, at least personally, like, man, I believe in Vic Fangio. I think that he can turn around. It won't be worse than what it was with Patricia and Sean Desai and everything else there. You got the right positional coaches, like all the stuff, right? So there was reason to be optimistic. But in terms of the players and the talent, nobody knew. You can't honestly say that you were 100% with every position there. You had absolute question marks, and surely you had more question marks about last year's team than you did this year. Even if it's like, yes, okay, what are we going to do at safety? Who exactly knows? For the other cornerback spot, is it Kelee Ringo? Is it Adoree Jackson? Is it a trade guy? But they ended up being the best defense in the league. So you add on to that, the guys are more comfortable. Yes, you lost some players, but you have all of the positional guys. You have all of the coaches here. I mean, I don't know when. I would love to look into this or have the info or the date on it, but like I don't know when the last time that a Super Bowl winning team and the number one, like take either side of the ball. I would just be willing to bet this has never happened. Maybe I'm wrong, but that the winning Super Bowl team, if there was ever a number one offense or number one defense that won the Super Bowl, that all of the positional coaches returned. Like that just doesn't happen. They get poached in the NFL. I mean, gosh, we experienced that a number of times, but even back whenever we lost the Super Bowl in 23, you have success and the league immediately goes, oh, okay, well, we need to interview them and make an offer. We got to make something happen. But the fact that Christian Parker returned as defensive backs coach, Clint Hurt returned as the D-line coach, Bobby King is the linebackers coach, Vic Fangio, but obviously, he's not going anywhere. But the fact that you have all of the same guys intact, Joe Casper as the safeties coach, it just doesn't happen. So, yeah, again, you lost some players. I'm just there's not a near the anxiety. I believe in the guys. You have some players that need to step up, but I think they will. Let's see, where's that? Oh, 456. Cuz, please give me a shout out. What's up? How you doing? B-dubs, I miss Chauncey. And we might, in terms of his ability on the field, we might. David, will Coop progress this year or slip a bit? I mean, he played so good last year. It's like, man, if you said that he slipped a bit, he could still end up being he was voted number 60 in the top 100 for the NFL among his peers, but like he could still be a top 100 player and he could slip a bit. I don't know. I'm curious to see where does Fangio ultimately play him? And how comfortable does he feel in the other guys? Because he made it blatantly obvious. It's like, well, Coop will play depending on how the safety and the outside corner go, depending on who we like. If he's not comfortable and confident, then, you might have Coop playing some in nickel. He's going to have to move to the safety spot. Maybe. We haven't seen much on the outside, but we've seen a couple reps. But maybe he has to play on the outside. And if he does that, I think he can do it. There's a chance that he does it incredibly well and there's no regression, but if you're asking him to play all those different roles, it also wouldn't surprise me if it's like, okay, yeah, he's experiencing a little bit of difficulties and maybe a slight regression. All right, let's see. Where was the other one? Frank said, I was wrong about Vic in the very beginning, but I quickly learned I was wrong. Okay, well, you admit it at least. Some people don't. I was wrong about Nakobe Dean, big time. So, very happy to be proven wrong. I thought that it was not going to happen. There was just no way. Dude's a stud. He's who knows when he's going to get back on there on the field, but every single time, and I've included it in the video that'll happen tomorrow, but if you haven't seen the clip, I mean, he's running on the field. He's running sprints. He's got the sled. Like, there's all sorts of stuff that he's doing that's just ahead of schedule. And, he said himself when we talked to him back at the Nova Here complex like a month and a half ago, he's like, man, I'm going to make it for the season. Like, it's going to happen. I still kind of think that it's the PUP list because there's no reason to force him back, especially with Jihaad Campbell ahead of schedule. You got Trot playing the way that he is. You don't need to rush him back, so maybe it's after week 4. But regardless, I mean, if he ends up getting on the field by the middle of the season and he's close to or at 100%, that'd be insane. Chris agreeing, saying you're right about position coaches coming back. Huge win for us. We might need a couple games to get the new players worked in, but we'll be a top 5 defense from week 4 on. There we go. I would buy it. I would absolutely believe it. I think the group is hungry. They're showing it. So far, very early semblances, I know, but they're beating the offense. The offense is slowly installing some things. But on the flip side, I would say that's a good thing that the defense is winning. And also, if you listen and you're kind of picking up like bits and pieces here, because they're not going to give us the full info, but you're picking up bits and pieces on the press conferences, like you hear from Grant Calcaterra, you hear from Jalen Hurts, you hear from Cam Jurgens, even a little bit of Kevin Patullo. for those questioning and asking, like, is this going to be Sirianni's offense? Are we going to do away with motion? Because, we had very little motion at all in the offense. And then Kellen Moore came and was like, whoa, hey, what is that? What's that movement before the snap? What? We haven't seen that. It's like, oh, okay, cool. We got some motion in here. But if you're like me, that was one of the big questions. Will the motion stay, or are they going to go back to the static offense and the defense knows exactly what's coming? So far, what we're getting from all the players is that they're working on motion and they're installing more motion. So, even if it just stays at the same rate, the presentation, like Kellen Moore preached all of last season, of keeping a similar presentation but running different plays off of that to keep the defense guessing, is what they're installing. And so there's a reason why Jalen Hurts, first and foremost, but lots of other guys are saying, like, look, this offense, we're not anywhere near to installing the scheme, the packages, the different plays to run off of the same look. So, yeah, it's the slow, subtle nuances that, the defense is probably a little further along. I did like Fangio kind of joking whenever Cam Jurgens made that excuse for the offense, though, and he's like, wait, who? Who said that we have all of our playbook installed? And they're like, yeah, Cam Jurgens. And he goes, really? He's, thinking like, what, our center's saying that? Like he would know? And he's like, okay. He's like, well, we got something for him. So it's some good competition. We'll just say that, going back and forth. But I'm optimistic on both sides of the ball. Call me crazy that I probably am more, not concerned, but I just got a lot of belief in this defense. I don't know if it's too much, but I just trust Fangio and I trust all those positional coaches. Whereas the offense, we'll see. They got all the talent in the world in terms of players, but I trust Patullo. I just want to see it. Same thing for a new quarterbacks coach, Scott Loeffler. We got a new offensive or pass game coordinator in Parks Frazier. So there's just different guys, and I'm just curious of, how much that ends up. Is it a hurdle or a hiccup early in the season? Do we hit the ground running? Week one, we're good. Who knows? AC, I believe, says I cannot play golf. That's okay. You're welcome to come and hang out. Like, as we said, even if you don't, you can putt, get you a team of 4. It'll be a good time nonetheless. So I don't have exact location in the Philly area somewhere. Just trying to get a pulse check on who would end up going. So far, it looks like we got about, this is pretty good. We got about almost 40% out of 217 votes. I'm terrible at math, but I'm going to say that it's about 80-ish, maybe 70, 80 people that say that they would golf and do a golf outing. $150 a person, 4-man scramble. You could bring your own team, or if it's just you, then you'd get partnered up. But I think that's more than enough. So as Kramer's now, Kramer might be scratched by the time we get there, setting up the golf sim in the garage as you're listening to the stream. So, Adam, you made it. There you go. So you're hoping that it was an hour-long drive. Well, you made good time. We've been going for about 53 minutes. Jorge said, Josh made me realize there's way more doubts this time last year for our defense. Okay, good. I'm glad. Mad Skills, could we bring a child? I don't see why not. I don't know what we would set as the exact minimum for age, if they're going to try to play on the team. But I personally, I'm all about family and having a good time. So I'm not a stickler on it. But if they're old enough and they're good enough to contribute and play, they could be on the team. Otherwise, just come and hang out, I suppose. I don't know all the logistics. Again, very early. Tyler, what's up, man? Appreciate the 10 bomb. Let's go. Says, holy goodness, bro. Been doing stuff to where I ain't been able to have my phone hardly any. Hopefully all's good, I guess. Ain't been on a live stream in forever. Go Birds. And Jalix is going to eat this year. I'm calling it. All love. Appreciate that, man. Hope all is good. I don't see any, what? Hopefully it's for good. There's no inclination for not having the phone hardly any. Been doing stuff. Well, hopefully that stuff is good things for you. But good to see you. And I'm with you on Jalix going to eat this year. Sacks wise, I think Anthony and I were saying somewhere around 7, 8, if I'm not mistaken, in that area. Kramer, yeah, they have to play little, hopefully. Anyone can play, any age, really. All right, let me do this. Let's start some of the giveaway as we're getting close to the time. I think I went a little bit over. But, just a little Q&A covering different Eagles news, how things are going. Also, Tyler, the member for 5 months with a comment. Yes, wasn't bad. Just good stuff for, or good stuff, Army stuff. There we go. We appreciate you, man. And speaking of the Army stuff, I think we could probably start with the military giveaway. So why don't we do that? It's good timing for it. Then we'll do the helmet. Then we'll do the Eagles Open Practice tickets, which the Eagles Open Practice tickets will be for people on the live stream. So don't leave if you want tickets to the Open Practice on August 10th at the link. And let me make sure that I got this ready to go. Here we go. All right, I'm going to spin for this. Again, this is for military members on the video 2 videos ago, the 51-minute, I believe, with Anthony. And any tickets of your choice to whoever wins this thing. So I think I've got it set up correctly. And good luck. Let's see who wins it. Here we go. Austin. Is Austin on the I think Austin, I've seen Austin recently. Are you on the stream? I know I've seen comments. This would actually be legit if Austin's on the stream. He's going to have an opportunity. I'm going to mention it in the upcoming video. I've definitely seen Austin recently. I can't remember, though, if he was on the stream here now or not. But either way, congratulations, man. You won. The comment of started Army and now the National Guard keeps me out of trouble. Go Birds. Go Birds, man. Congrats. Thank you for your service. Thank you, everyone. If I could do it, 200 of these, I would. But more to come in the future for sure. Congratulations. I just got to hear from you. If you're on the stream, it'd be great. If not, then contact me. Email the Philly Special Show at gmail.com. I'll mention it in an upcoming video. And you got time to claim it here. So usually give a week for you. But there'll be multiple videos. Comment. Let me know. I've seen you comment on a lot of those. That's why I'm thinking that I might have seen you here on the live stream. But either way, good to go. As John says, but go Navy, beat Army. I figured that'd probably happen. JC, yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. No, he's normally on stream, but don't think he's here tonight. Okay, all right, I was going to say, I recognize him for sure. So I've seen lots of comments in the past, but all good. He'll get a pleasant surprise whenever he finds out. So there we go. Austin, you got it. Congrats. I'll confirm, get your information, everything there. That is for the 2 tickets. Now the question, too, once we hear back from him, but assuming that we do, which game that he should pick. So be thinking about that one as well. Lots of good opportunities. We'll say that. Okay, so the other one, and this is for the video from, I think, the first day of camp, if I'm not mistaken, but this is for the Eagles Philly Dogs helmet. So going to do that one here in just a bit. Got another one. I've given away one of these already, but we got another one. So this is Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. I'm sorry, Nolan Smith. We didn't get Jalen Carter. I'm checking the chat to make sure Austin's not commenting. So I can't do 2 things at once. Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, and Nolan Smith for the autographs. So let's see who's going to win this one. And G-Stays Go Space Force. Where's their field? David, hey, by the way, you're saying that he said that you can accept on his behalf. Well, that's good of you. That's really cool of you. Okay, so let's spin for this one. Again, this is why to just make sure and check out the videos, because there's details and everything for all the videos on entering, get the entries. Usually it's something comment related, making sure that you're there, but we got all sorts of these planned and even more upcoming. So good luck all. And then we are going to do the Eagles Open practice tickets after this. So who is this one going to be? Could we maybe get somebody on the stream? That'd be nice. Pat Hassler, I believe. Pat Hassler 8367. I don't think that I've seen Pat on the stream here tonight. But yeah, Jorge, I didn't forget Nolan's name. I'm trying to read comments and also think, which I can't do. So I'm not gonna just forget him. No. The comment was, I'm excited for the first repeat NFC East title in 20 years and the third Lombardi. So, Pat, congratulations. You have won. Looks like a family picture there. Looks like a beautiful family. I can't see the full pictures, but hopefully all Eagles fans. And you got the Philly Dogs helmet that I will send to you, assuming that you can also contact me. Here you go. Same thing. The Philly Special Show at gmail.com. Let me know. Let me hear from you. If I don't, then I will do this one for an upcoming live stream. So keep an eye out. People on the live stream, you got a chance, you got an opportunity. If I don't hear from Pat or from Austin, I think that I'll hear from Austin. He's usually on pretty frequently, but they will get many opportunities. So we'll say that. And then, Frank, that's not a bad idea. Yellow helmet members giveaway. I might be able to figure that one out. I don't know if it lets me, like, separate people whenever I'm going through and making those. But I might be able to. If I can go figure that out on the members. We are going to do just the members only. So, like, that for sure will happen. But that's not a bad idea. Do for, like, the OGs. All right. I'll try to work on something. But as I mentioned, there definitely will be members, giveaway, tickets, things like that. So stay tuned. And then the other giveaway that we'll do here is the Eagles open practice. John, you can print me a yellow helmet. That'd be pretty cool. Wait, is Pat here? Did somebody say Pat's here? Or is somebody trolling? Did I miss it? Whoa. Did I miss it? Hang on. Is Muhammad trolling? Why did he say Pat's here? Is Pat here? I'm not seeing him. Hold up. No, he's not here. I'm not seeing any. There's no comments. What in the world? No, he's not. B-Dubs, the yellow helmet is for membership, and then it's also based on... Yeah, Muhammad, I see you here, but I don't see Pat. Do you go by Pat? Do you change your profile? But yeah, the yellow helmet is based on membership. So it starts with the midnight green, and then it slowly trickles up to... I think if it's a year or longer, year plus, then it goes to the yellow helmets, which is, based on membership and length, everything there. All right. Let me get this last one here set up for the giveaways as far as that goes. This is specifically for people on the live stream, so don't go anywhere. If you want Eagles open practice tickets, you got to be present. You got to be here to claim them, and I will get that set up. Then I'm going to got a super chat here from Qualified, so 1 second. Muhammad, I caught on, but a little bit late. I appreciate a good troll, just, as everyone knows and is seeing, I can't multitask, so it's very easy to pull one over on me. All right. We'll do capture the messages, and okay. So here's the thing. If you can make it to the Eagles open practice and you want tickets to the Eagles open practice, then August 10th at the link. Please don't comment if you, because this will take forever, but don't comment if you can't make it. But if you can, then I just need you to comment open practice. That's all you got to do. It's pretty simple. I should have done rigged, but I didn't think about that one. I always forget, and then I see that. Yeah, Matt, it's a good idea. All right, I got to remember next time. I've already set it up for for open practice. But open practice, that's all you got to do. One time, not multiple comments. If you do multiple, pretty sure it kicks you out. I've told people this many times before. IBH, appreciate that. Says, thank you, Josh, for all your efforts. And then we will spin to give away 2 tickets. So it's 2 tickets to each person that wins these, by the way. So you'll get one. And yes, Luffy, open practice in this chat. In this chat works. As long as you have open practice, you're good. You're counted. I got you. If you're in California, I mean, yeah, you could win them, but you got to be able to go. Can you make it to Philly, August 10th? I mean, that's the hope, I guess. But Adam, already start with a rigged. Good, very good. But yes, if you win it, it'll be 2 tickets. Mike saying, "Yeah, I'm free. Even if I'm not, I'll make my schedule." There we go. And then stay here, by the way. So I'll spin in just a second, but stay on this stream because I'm going to spin it, and you got to be present here to claim them. If you're gone, then I'm going to spin it again. We are talking about practice. Joe Damasciano? Not sure about the last name. Sorry about that. Oh, Luffy, I'll get a flight. There you go. Okay. As Fanny said, yes, mental health day. Those are very important. It's not a bad day to take one and go see the Eagles play. Clay, 5-hour drive from Richmond. Oh, that's easy. JC, 9 hours away. That's just a stroll. That's a quick drive. John, gonna abstain. Okay. Jorge, I appreciate that. Thank you. Got open practice. Joe, okay, it's close. Okay, all right. It didn't sound right. Didn't sound completely right, but I also was too committed not to give an effort. So nailed the first name. B-dubs, 2.5 hours. Okay. It's not too bad at all. Adam, 2.5 hour drive. See, there you go. We got a lot of people that can make the drive. Damasceno. I think I tried to do too much of a sh the first time. Damasceno? Joe Damasceno? All right, I think that's as close as I'm going to get. Travis, birthday weekend. 8 hours for Matt. That's a short one. Living about 45 minutes away. Saw that comment. 40. Okay. I think we're going to spin. I think we got just about enough people here, so we're good. Mike, it's August 10th. Anthony's here. Am I too late for the giveaway? No, you're not. You comment. Open practice. You got one. People think that it's very rigged if he gets that one, but Anthony is in the great state of Pennsylvania right now as well. He's enjoying some vacation, so shout out to you. Very much deserved. The Ant-Man is constantly providing updates and everything else, so all right, like I say, I've got, I believe, all the comments, or at least the vast majority. So here we go. Please stay on, be present, even if I don't call your name here, because if someone's not here, then I'm going to spin it again. So who's it going to be? Dash the 6. Saw the comment earlier. Dash the 6. No way. You gotta be kidding me. Did you also just really put this? I don't think that I don't think you're being truthful. But the odds, because if we remember, we had the individual who won the card who had the coffee machine broken. And Dash the 6 literally just commented right before the thing spun and said, "My wife's coffee machine is broken." And just won again. So maybe that's the trick. I don't know. There's something about this spinner that if you comment you have a coffee machine broken, that it somehow works. And now you're going to say rigged. Okay, well, he somehow got it. Dash, congrats. I'll spin again for somebody else as well too. But Dash, you've won 2 tickets to the Eagles Open Practice. So don't leave if you already commented on this and you're on the giveaway. Yeah, people now just say that your wife's coffee machine broke. It's going to help. But yes, Dash, email me, the Philly Special Show at gmail.com. I'll get you the 2 tickets. I just got to double check and confirm, obviously. But yeah, there you go. Wow, what are the odds? Okay, I'm gonna spin again though. So if anybody needs to get any last second, my coffee machine is broken, or my wife's coffee machine is broken. I know. Next roll is gonna be it's Mike says my wife's broke. Okay, I don't know if that's the comment, but okay. So Dash already won 2. We'll give away 2 more because this is just too funny of how it works. See who it is. Come on. Philly sports fan 25. Are they still here? Philly sports fan 25. Are you still here? I got to hear from you in the comments, in the chat. Something, anything. Comment back. Just got to see some sort of comment from you that I'm here, that I've won. Congrats to you. You got 2 tickets to the Eagles open practice. If I can hear back. If not, I'll spin it again. So we'll have somebody else. Adam said, honestly, Keurig could die on me 3 months ago. See, there you go. It's okay. I see you. Philly sports fan 25. Congrats. You got it. Same deal. Email me, thephillyspecialshow@gmail.com. I'll get your info, get you the tickets, and you're good to go. So, how about that? Dash and Philly sports fan 25. You got tickets to the open practice. Congratulations to you guys. Should be fun. A little up close and get some extra experience. See it in person. So, all right. Any last Q&A before we hop off here? I've been about to jump off. Quick heads up as well that as I mentioned, have the recap and some other updates and everything else tomorrow for a video. Also, we got approved. The Eagles approved us for the Eagles approved us for training camp. So me and Anthony and Thomas are going to be at training camp on Tuesday, a week from today, actually. Yeah, the week flies. Time flies. So a week from today, we'll be at training camp. Therefore, probably will not have a Tuesday night hangout. If I can figure out maybe to do one potentially from, well, I don't know. I might be able to figure out a way to do one from like the airport or something like that, but it's very hit or miss. So don't plan on it. If you get a notification all of a sudden that we're live, then you know what happened. But yeah, we're getting to go there. Otherwise, we'll have, the updates and everything else following camp. And then, of course, we're not that far away from the Eagles' first preseason game, which is, what is that, Thursday, Friday next week? So, Lewis, I would love to live stream from camp. Unfortunately, they don't allow that. They don't allow any cameras, anything. I mean, I can do, like, quick snippets during warm-ups, but then they say no videos, no extra info. And then I mean, maybe there's an opportunity after that. I think that it's kind of like, all right, everybody, time to go. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll keep you posted. More details, more info. Eagles practice on Thursday and on Friday. Then they have an off day Saturday, and they practice again on Sunday. So as far as just specific details and everything else. But we'll have recaps, all that after every day of training camp, as we normally do. Keep everybody posted. Philly Fanatic, do I think the Birds should sign Asante Samuel Jr.? I would consider it. I would look into it. I'm sure that they're going to do some research. At the moment, I feel like it's less likely than... It's less than 50%. But in a week, maybe even less than a week, we'll see. I think depending on where Kelee, Ringo, and Adoree Jackson are. So we'll play that by ear. But yeah, I don't think it hurts to check in and see if there's some potential depth there, whether it's that or a trade. The individual that I was talking about a second ago, I'll just end it on this. For a cornerback, and if you're going to make a trade or a move, I would love Greg Newsome. Anthony and I talked about that like a month ago, I think, at this point. But if you're going to get a guy to bolster the room, the versatility that he has as well, it does feel like a Fangio type of player. You have to give up more, but you got 13 picks, so plenty of those there. Anyway, we'll see how that transpires. But Appreciate you guys as always. Congratulations again to all the winners. Austin and everyone else, the military members, we thank you. Thank you for your service. As I will say and always say, you guys are the real heroes. So we will definitely have more giveaways specifically for military members. We do that on Veterans Day. Tickets, extra stuff there. More things for members too. Tickets on the giveaways. Shout out to SeatGeek and Philly Sports Fan and Dash. You guys got Eagles open practice tickets. So, as always, we'll catch you guys in the next one. I appreciate it. Go Birds.